Hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good! And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good! Okay, well let's learn English together. And welcome back, people. Yes, welcome, welcome and welcome once again to the studio. We're back. The mini revision has been completed and we're ready to get started on what we were looking at. Oh, now. When was it? It was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? All right, now, as we all remember, we were thinking about an exercise where we have to rearrange the words so that they're in the right order. We have to create order out of chaos! The words are all jumbled up. There are different tenses to be considered, there are adverbs, auxiliary verbs, and a whole mess of other bits and pieces as well. The first one, which we did as an example, started off with a past simple question. Well, that's what we had to make out of the scrambled spaghetti collection of words that we were given. Number 1. Has lesson she kung fu a week every? Past simple question. Do you all remember? Yes, it was a right pig's breakfast, wasn't it? It was, but we can handle all sorts of breakfasts, can't we? Yes. So we know that we had to turn this collection of words into a past simple question. And that means that we remember that we need to use an auxiliary verb. If the verb in the sentence was the verb to be, then we wouldn't need an auxiliary verb. When we ask questions using the verb to be in the past simple, all we have to remember is that the verb to be in the past simple has two forms, depending on the subject. I was, you were, he, she, it was, and we, you, and they were. Here, however, because the sentence doesn't feature the verb to be, we have to use the past simple form of the verb to do as the auxiliary, did. So, we start with the auxiliary verb did. And it's an easy one, isn't it? Yes, it's did for all the subject forms. Good. Then we followed the auxiliary verb with the subject, she, and followed the subject with the main verb. In which form? Yes, that's right. In past simple questions, we conjugate the auxiliary verb, not the main verb. So the main verb remains in the infinitive, have. And then what? Well, after the main verb comes the object. In this case, a kung fu lesson. And what do we need to finish? Yes, that's right, Mrs. Golden Girdle. We finished with the adverb of time clause and a question mark. We went from this, has lesson she kung fu a week every, to this, did she have a kung fu lesson every week? Excellent. Okay, so now that we've all been reminded of what we have to do, let's see the other sentences that we've got to disentangle. Number 1. The deep be water. Present simple question. Number 2. Take sugar do he his coffee in. Positive present simple statement, question tag. Number 3. They the no answer, past simple question. Number 4. We not work, we go Disneyland to tomorrow. Present continuous negative, present continuous positive. Number 5. We your mother see last night. Past simple negative. Number 6. I while swim steal someone clothes my. Past continuous positive, past simple positive. Number 7. You be where? The to supermarket be I. Present perfect simple question, present perfect simple. Number 8. 10 for years live I here. So live since you here 2008. Present perfect simple, present perfect simple. All right, well, let's sort those out. Let's take these Yoda sentences and change them into real English sentences. Okay, first one. We can see the instructions in the brackets after the sentence, so we can see that we have to turn this mess of words, this maelstrom of chaos, into a question in the present simple. Okay? Well, that shouldn't be too difficult, should it? What's the formula for the word order? Present simple question? Well, does the sentence use the verb to be? Yes, there. We can see the verb be. And what does that mean? Well, that means that it's very simple. In present simple questions with the verb to be, we know that we don't need an auxiliary verb. So that makes the formula very simple indeed. Present simple positive sentences follow the structural formula of S plus V plus O. Subject plus verb plus object. And to change that into a question, all we have to do is swap the places of the subject and the verb. S plus V plus O becomes V plus S plus O. So, change the word order and decide what we have to do with the verb. What's the subject? The water. Okay, and which subject is that? Is it a plural subject? No. Is it the first person singular? No. What about the second person singular? No, don't be daft. This is the third person singular, so we have to make sure that the verb is correctly conjugated. He, she, and it is. So we start with is, follow with the subject, the water, add the adjective that we're using in the sentence, and then, well, all that's left is the question mark. Bung a question mark on at the end, and we're done and dusted. The deep be water, present simple question, is the water deep? Bing bong! Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, nice and breezy, not Japanesey. Next. All right. Well, as we can see from the information in the brackets at the end, this one has to be disentangled to make two elements. A positive statement in the present simple, and then, following that, a question tag. Nae bother, as we used to say in Scotland back in the day. All right, so turn that maelstrom of chaos into a positive statement in the present simple. S plus V plus O. What's the subject of the sentence? He. Good. What about the verb? The verb to take. Good. But what about conjugation? The subject is the third person singular. I take, you take, but he, she, and it takes. Okay, he takes. He takes what? What's the object? Sugar! He takes sugar. Where? What? Eh? In his coffee. He takes sugar in his coffee. Perfect. So that's the positive sentence. What about the question tag? Well, what do we all remember about question tags? Yes, if the sentence is positive, the question tag is negative. If the sentence is negative, then the question tag is positive. So, this sentence is positive, which means that we have to use the negative form of the auxiliary verb, the verb to do, to create the question tag. So, doesn't he? Bingo! Lotto! The football pools. Let's see it. Number 2. Take sugar, do he, his coffee in? Number 2. He takes sugar in his coffee, doesn't he? Brill! Next. Aha! An easy one. Past simple question from this muddle of words. Number 3. They the no answer. Past simple question. Well, so we need to make this into a question in the past simple. Easy. What do we need? The past tense of do. Did. That's the auxiliary verb we need to use. And what about conjugation? There isn't any. It's did for all the subjects. Okay. So which word are we going to start with? Well, it's a past simple question, which means that we have to start with did. We start with the auxiliary. And then, what comes next? The subject. Good. And then what? Well, yes, that's right. Then we get the main verb. And what form should it be in? Yes, right again. It remains in the infinitive. No stays as no. And what do we finish with? Yes, two things. The object and then a question mark. Bingo bongo, let's see it. Number 3, they the no answer, past simple question. Number 3, did they know the answer? Excellent, on we go. Aha, the next one is meant to be in the present continuous. Okay, no problem. Two parts to the sentence, one part is negative, one part is positive. What are we going to start with? With tomorrow. Yes, that's right. Although we could also put tomorrow after the first part, after the first clause, but let's start with tomorrow. Okay, then what? Well, after that we need the subject, don't we? Yes, and then? After the subject we get the verb, and because it's the present continuous, we need to make sure that we're using the verb to be as the auxiliary verb. For which subject? Yes, that's right. This sentence has got a plural subject, and that means that we're going to use are plus ing. All right. But hang on. This one needs to be negative, doesn't it? Yes. And that means that we need the adverb not. Okay. And where do we put not? Yes, right again. Not goes between the auxiliary verb and the main verb in the ing form. Good. So what have we got so far? Tomorrow we are not. We're not. We aren't working. Okay, so that's the first part done. What about the next bit? The next bit is positive, not negative, but we're still using the present continuous. So this should be easy, shouldn't it? Subject, auxiliary verb, main verb in ing form. We're going to Disneyland. Okay then, let's see the whole thing. Number 4, we not work, we go Disneyland to tomorrow. Present continuous negative, present continuous positive. Tomorrow, we're not working, we're going to Disneyland. Hooray for you! Okay, you might not be working tomorrow, but we're working now. What's next? Aha, a past simple negative sentence. Easy. Which verb do we need to use as the auxiliary verb? That's right, the past tense of do, did. And what about conjugation? There isn't any! Ha! Okay, so what are we going to start with? Subject, correct, we. Then auxiliary verb, did. Then main verb in the infinitive. Then object. And finally, time phrase. Good, let's see it. Number 5, we your mother see last night. Past simple negative. We did not see your mother last night. Bing on! Next. A sentence which features the past continuous and the past simple. Okay, what are we going to start with? Yes, that's right, start with while, which introduces the idea of what was happening when this happened. So, while followed by what? Well, it's a positive sentence in the past continuous, so that means we need the subject I followed by the verb. And because this is the past continuous, we need an auxiliary verb, don't we? Yes! And which verb do we use to make the past continuous? What's the auxiliary verb? Yes, that's right. It's the past simple form of the verb to be. And that means it's either was or were, depending on the subject. And for this sentence, where the subject is I, the first person singular, which form do we need? Yes, I was plus the ing form of the verb. And what's the verb? The verb to swim. Okay, let's see it so far. While I was swimming. Good, that's the first part completed. Now what about the second part? Okay, past simple, easy. It's positive, so we don't have to worry about auxiliary verbs. Subject, someone. Good, verb to steal. Okay, and what's the correct form of the verb to steal in the past simple? Steal, stole. Okay, and what else do we need? Yes, we need the object to finish. And what's the object? My clothes. Okay, put it all together. Number 6, I while swim steal someone clothes my. Past continuous positive, past simple positive. While I was swimming, someone stole my clothes. Excellent, well done, and oh, we're out of time. Oh, fop doodles. Oh well, never mind. We'll finish up the rest of them tomorrow, okay? All right, people, have fun, whatever you've got planned for the rest of the day. Have fun, and have a good time too. I'm off home to have a meeting in the kitchen with a cup of coffee. And as for you lot, well, look about the flat. Is it a mess? Is your sock drawer in need of a good tidy? Yes? Well then, in that case, you know what you have to do. There are always chores lurking about, waiting for you to finish them. And When the chores are all finished, then there's the dog, the rabbit, the lizard and the giraffe. They all need food, water and love. So go to it. I'll see you all tomorrow. See you later. www.mediaclick.hu. Bye!